Okay, so we're recording now, so we should be good. So again, welcome everybody to the July investors meeting. And like I said, we're going to go through this fairly quick because I know everybody's busy. We're going to try to keep it under half an hour. Q&As, I will reserve some time at the end of the meeting. So let's hold off on that so that we can get through all of the material. And then we'll do a little bit of Q&A at the end of the meeting. If there's any follow-ups individually, specifically that you want to do, I'm always available. Bilal is also available, and you can always contact us individually. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So the overall, why is my slide not turning here? Okay, so the summary and the overall status is as follows. We're seeing continuing demand in the market, very, very strong. As a company, Turo.com itself, they're doing very strong. They're seeing a lot of growth. I think I heard recently that they acquired some new funding. In terms of our business specifically, we are also seeing a lot of strong rental demand for both of our markets in Dallas and in Austin. You guys, you want to go on mute? I'm hearing somebody. So again, we're seeing a lot of demand for our particular business, specifically in Dallas and in Austin. Hey guys, can we go on mute, please? Okay. Somebody's. Hey guys, can we go on mute, please? Okay, we're getting a lot of noise. Please go on mute. All right, so we're onboarding new team members as a result of that demand as part of our company growth strategy. Los Angeles area and Tampa, we have planned expansion for those two areas, specifically in Q3, as part of that growth plan. The ROI is consistent with Q1, and we expect that to grow. What we're actually seeing is a bit of a hockey stick. So as we completed our successful fundraising round, we have absorbed quite a bit of capital. And as a result of that, we have a fair amount of cash in the bank. Now we have to absorb that cash. We have to spend that cash in order to have earnings, right? It's difficult to make money if the cash is sitting in the bank. So we've been very busy trying to do acquisitions for new vehicles so that the new vehicles can start making money for us. Customer ratings, we continue to focus on customer ratings. So right now Dallas has over 451 trips. 4.5 stars. Austin, a perfect record. Big credit to our ops managers there. Rene, who's in Austin, does a brilliant job. He does videos, he does all kinds of things to promote good customer service. So we continue to have a strong record, and this is critical to the running of our business. One of the first things people look at is the rating, right? They're not going to choose an owner that has bad ratings. So we try to go out of our way to make sure that we provide good customer service. Can we have 100%? Can we maintain 100% feedback? No. Unfortunately, slips do happen, and we do have customers that complain, once in a while, sometimes legitimately. And so our focus is to continue to improve our offering in the marketplace and be competitive. All right, a little bit about the fundraising itself and what happened with the fundraising effort. So we're pretty excited about the results of the fundraising round that we did, our first round of fundraising. When we started this, our initial goal was to see if we could find about 10 investors to join our business. And I'm happy to say that the response was phenomenal. The response was 3 times what we were expecting. So our target was 10 individual investors to come and join our team with a capital between 10K and 25K. And the reality of it is we actually have more than 30. There's still others coming in, but we've closed off the round. We're holding them off until the next round. What does that mean in terms of the actual capital raised? So with those 10 that we were hoping to bring in, our initial goal was about $100,000, maybe $150,000 was kind of our target. That's the capital that we wanted to raise so that we could acquire more cars and scale. And the reality of it is that there was a tremendous amount of interest from you guys, from the general investing community, etc. And to date, we've actually raised $445,000. So very, very exciting. That tells us that you obviously believe in the vision, you obviously understand the opportunity and the potential. And so now it's our job to take that capital and make sure that we can get the best ROI for that investment. And that's what we're focused on. All right, let's talk about our net income. And like I said, this is going to look like a hockey stick for this quarter, potentially even for next quarter. So there's going to be a few dips up and down as we normalize the operation. So when I talk about this cash injection of $445,000, one of the things that is a big task for us is to spend that capital wisely in the right vehicle. Now, we don't want to rush out the door and spend capital on cars that are not strategic. So there's a fair amount of time and a fair amount of effort that goes into choosing the right car. I've shared previously that when we select a car, we do quite a bit of data research. So we look at what type of car has the most demand for each city. So in Dallas, the cars that we are acquiring are not the same cars that we look at for Austin. In Dallas, the cars that do really well are the luxury brands, the Mercedes and the BMWs and the Lexus, etc. We brought a few of those over to Austin, and they don't do as well. In Austin, the cars that seem to do better are the more value-based cars. The Prius is one of the top cars in Austin. Austin tends to be more of an eco-friendly city. So all of this research, we do with looking at our competitors. We do a comprehensive analysis on all renters in the market, and then we break that data down via our own software that we've created, and then we go out and acquire that car. And the car that we get is from wholesale. So we also look for the right price because we want to have an opportunity to make sure that the depreciation isn't too steep. So a lot of these things go into acquiring cars. So it's not something that is done in a day or two. It takes us several weeks to acquire a vehicle. So the net income is going to reflect that. So April, I think we had a pretty strong April. And these are annualized numbers, 16.92%. May dip down a little bit. We started liquidating some of the cars in May. And June, we're still liquidating some cars. I think we've gotten rid of most of them. There may be another 1 or 2 cars that we want to get rid of that are not optimal in terms of their performance, in terms of the rental demand. So that's an ongoing basis where we let go of our bottom performers and we bring on our better performers. So in June, we saw a pretty strong net income of 22.14% annualized. Each one of these monthly is less than 2% for the month. But again, we're looking at this for the long picture and what is the annualized return for the business. Okay. Now, what does this mean for you as the investor? So this is our next slide. So out of this meeting, this is probably the most important slide for you as an investor, as a takeaway. So for the month of July, those of you that are in the gold tier are realizing about a 15.89% return annualized. Those of you who are in the silver, 12.71%, and bronze, 9.53%, again annualized. Now, we're expecting these numbers to go up. Some of the reason, I mean, first of all, we feel these are pretty good returns based on what's available in the market. These are still pretty strong returns, but we would like to see these increase. So our goal over the next quarter, next half of the year, is to continue with optimizing the returns through efficiency, operations, acquisition of new vehicles, releasing the bad performing vehicles, etc. So the expectation here is we need about a quarter or two to absorb the funds, to spend the capital properly, and that should result in the returns increasing over the next quarter or two. Specifically, some of the milestones that we hit in the last quarter. So as our company is growing and our operations are growing, we've onboarded somebody by the name of Zishan. He is our CFO on demand. So he's helping us to make sure that we have a critical and a analytical eye towards our operations, specifically around accounting, and that we are optimizing everything to get the best bang for our buck, or to get the best ROI. I mentioned that we have started selling off our low-performing vehicles, and we're going to continue to do that. There's going to be a certain amount of churn with these vehicles that's ongoing. So every month we look at what's performing, what's not performing, and then decide which cars we want to release. We've also been buying as aggressively as we can, but at the same time cautiously. So these are some of the vehicles that we have purchased for the Dallas and the Austin market. So BMW, Chevy, Honda, a lot of BMWs. The BMW 3 Series seems to be a big hit. It's not priced too high for the renter, and it still carries that luxury brand, and they rent really well. The Hondas and the Toyota are doing really good in the Austin market. So these cars were purchased for Austin. So that's the Honda Accord, Honda Civic, and the Toyota Prius. The rest of these were purchased for the Dallas market. Okay. Some of the other things, milestones for Q2, testing a new fleet control device. So right now we have a lot of legwork that gets done to deliver a car to the customer. Because Turo allows that option, we offer it. And so a lot of times we have to drive out to the customer, drop off the car, and then take a Uber or a Lyft back. And obviously there's cost involved. So some of the owners very smartly have started putting in devices into their vehicles that allow the cars to be touchless in terms of service. So we can park our cars at the airport, downtown, in reserved, secure spots where we pay for a monthly rent, etc., and simply provide the renter instructions via text, via email, etc. And then we can remotely control the car by opening the locks at the time the renter arrives. We can monitor via GPS exactly where the car is, and we can kill the engine if we need to. And unfortunately, in this business, it's common that sometimes you have to do that. We have onboarded a fleet manager, a operations manager in the LA market by the name of Chirag Jain. This is somebody that I've known for many years, somebody that I trust, that we've done business with, so we know he'll take good care of our operations and help us grow aggressively in the LA area. We've also onboarded a offshore manager by the name of Deepa Reddy, and she's also somebody that has been part of our organization in our other businesses for almost 5 years. So these are people that we know are efficient, dedicated, committed, will help our operational efficiency as they join our team. The purpose of the India onboarding or bringing in the ops manager in India is because a lot of these tasks that we have to do here can be outsourced. So for example, answering customer emails, putting in claims to Turo.com, etc. And obviously it's going to be cheaper hourly if we have somebody efficient offshore to do that, and we're paying them $5 to $8 an hour versus somebody over here that we're paying, you know, 10 to 15 an hour. So it's all about optimizing our costs where we can. And then of course our first round of capital has been closed very, very successfully. So we, Bilal and I and the rest of the team, thank you personally for putting your faith and your money with us, and we look forward to great success together. All right, let's talk about next steps. I have 2 more slides and then we're done. Hey guys, can you go on mute? I'm still getting a lot of static from somebody. All right, so the goals for the second half of the year, H2 goals. So our first priority is to buy. We really need to get that cash, convert that cash into vehicles. So right now we're focused on that. Bilal and the team were at the auction yesterday, and I believe had some success in picking up some more cars. We're going back again next week for Tampa and for the LA market. We should start seeing some cars for those 2 markets in the next few weeks. So that's critical. That's our number 1 priority. And again, to make sure that we buy right. We want to buy the right vehicles. Scale the operations in each of the cities, Dallas, Austin, LA, and Tampa, possibly north. We know that the New Jersey, New York market is a very, very hot market. I've spoken to Javid, I've spoken to, I think, a few of you about that potential. One of the things that you as investors can help your business here is to help us identify a trustworthy, reliable, somebody you know, ops manager that has a flexible schedule that may be interested in joining us. Now, we're not in a rush to hire this person. This is somebody that we're literally handing the keys of $50,000, $100,000 worth of vehicles. So, we're going to be very, very picky as far as who we bring on. But we are looking for recommendations and referrals, and the best place to find those is within our own friends and network right here. So if you have those, please contact me. Send an email to invest@TriStar Trade. Let me know, or Bilal, and we'll be happy to talk to this person. Number 3, we're going to continue the operational efficiencies. Like I said, adding more software and hardware to allow us to deliver faster, to increase our monthly rental rate, etc. There's some software that we're going to be developing as well that will help us. Things like auto texting customers, etc., etc. We're also going to be diversifying, looking at other platforms that we can put our cars on, including HireCar. We already have a few cars on HireCar, and we're already seeing some revenue there. HireCar is a similar platform to Turo.com. And then we're going to start a second round of funding. We haven't decided dates or what the specific target is going to be yet, but that is something that's coming in the second half of the year. And this is to increase our diversity and to scale the business. Potentially look at other on-demand sharing economy businesses like Airbnb, etc. All right, and then specifically next steps for you. So the second quarter returns, your checks, are going to be sent out to you over the next couple of weeks. Now, one thing I will tell you, there's going to be a number of you that are not going to be receiving a check. Now, the reason is this. We saw a big spike of investors come in June. And for those of you that committed, came on board, signed on board in June, your cash is sitting there. So we're still trying to acquire new vehicles. So obviously there's no profit share just yet. It does take us a few weeks to get you into the system, to get a new vehicle, etc., etc. So each one of you is going to be receiving an individual email with your stated returns. And of course, if you have any questions, please send an email. I know that some of you send direct messages via WhatsApp to me or Bilal, or sometimes Facebook messaging, etc., etc. And I apologize that I don't respond to all of them, but it would really be helpful if you direct all communication via that email. We're committed to making sure that we answer all those emails as quickly as possible. All right, and then one last thing, we talked about getting into or offering real estate. So Bilal and I have been very fortunate and blessed to be able to participate in very lucrative real estate deals for over a dozen, 2 dozen years. And we decided to start opening that up. So we're going to be talking about that within the next month or so. We're going to begin offering some of the deals that come across our table. The priority is Turo. This is where you've put your money in, so we don't want to run too fast or mix things up. We're committed to making sure that Turo is a big success. And as time permits, whatever it makes sense in terms of being efficient, we'll start offering some of those real estate deals. We just want to make sure Turo doesn't get affected in any way. Okay, I'm going to open it up just for a few minutes, 5 minutes, for quick Q&As, and then we're going to go ahead and close out the webinar. So if you have a question, please go ahead and jump in now.
So Naeem, quick question from my side. I think I joined late in the first investor round, and the consensus among all the investors was that it was a better ROI at the 10K level than it was at the 25K level, for example. Let me explain what I mean by that. So if you invested in 2 notes of 10K each, you were entitled to 60% of the profit, whereas if you invested 25K, you were only getting around 50%. So could you please help clarify that misunderstanding? Because from what I see in your presentation, the rate for the gold investor is still better than the bronze one.
Yeah, so we haven't come across that. I mean, nobody has come in to say, let me take two assets of 10K each. And at the end of the day, I think what we're just asking and expecting is that everybody be fair about this, right? So you're kind of talking about hacking the system a little bit, right? So
I didn't do that. I'm just
no.
clarifying.
Yeah.
Some discussions that went on after the funding.
Sure.
That it was,
Sure.
And maybe it was intentional in the sense you guys didn't want the higher level of investments. You maybe wanted smaller investments from individual. I'm not sure. But,
yeah.
If you do the math right, the ROI at the 10K level was better than it was at the.
This is Bilal, so let me jump into that. So basically, let's say that somebody invested $25,000, right? And the profit was $1,000. So the profit is going to be 40% theirs and 60% ours. So $1,000, they can get $400 because their investment is $25,000. Now, let's say that they also invested $10,000. At 30%, we're not saying that your return now is 60%. It's 30% on 10,000. So you only invested 20,000, yet it's 30% for the first 10,000 and 30% for the next 10,000. So $1,000 profit will go to 30% for the 10,000 because of the total investment. So you will only get 30% for your first 10,000 and 30% for the next 10,000, right? So 20,000 total percentage will be 30%. It's not that now the 20% will give you 60% of the profit.
Okay. So yeah, and that's the clarification I think that the group needs.
Yes.
Because the assumption is, and I'm not saying it's a correct one, is that the ROI on the 10K ones might be better in case you invest in 2 different investments.
Yeah,
so
so
to use your example, for the 10K one, you get 300 for the first one and 300 for the second one, which comes out to 600 versus 450, 400 for the 25K one.
No. So you see, if the profit is $1,000, right? So for the first 10K, you get 300. No, actually, hang on, it doesn't work that way. Sorry. It's not that you're the only profit, because the invested is 20,000, right? So you divide the whole profit, $1,000, over the number of shares. So there's 2 shares. So you actually get 150 and 150. You don't get 300 each.
I totally understand that. What I'm trying to say is that understanding in the group
wasn't common. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So this is Lukman from New Jersey. Can I ask a question?
yes, please.
Yes. So I'm looking at the May numbers and the June numbers and the percentage return ROI. Could you go to that slide, please?
Sure. Okay.
Okay, yeah. So 16.82 was what was shown at the ADB Excel spreadsheet when we had first initially joined the call as the April actuals. So it's right now 16.92, which is pretty close. But what's surprising is the May actuals, right? So May actuals have gone down. This is for the board.
I can't hear anything, though. I can't hear anything. Sorry, this is Musafir.
Yeah, you're getting a lot of echo.
Yeah, somebody has to just put me on. I think a lot of people was unmuted.
Okay, should I repeat or you guys are okay?
No, we're getting a lot of
I
echo.
think you're both on the phone and the computer. You must mute one of them because we are hearing your voice twice. Now is a lot better. Thank you.
Okay. So what I was saying is that the April numbers are 16.92 and the May numbers have gone up to 15.36. And then I'm assuming that's the board actual, right?
Yeah, Lukman, I'm sorry, we're still getting a lot of feedback.
I'll hang up. I'll give you a delay.
Maybe you can type your question.
Yeah.
Is there a way for you to type a brief question? If you speak on the speaker, that will be the issue. If you can speak on the hand receiver, then I think it should be okay. Don't try to use the phone speaker in that case. That's why I think we hear the echo.
Okay, while we're waiting for Brother Lukman, any other questions?
Brother Kashif here.
Yes, Brother Kashif, go ahead.
Yeah, you just mentioned that the check will not be given to the people who have invested in the month of June, which pretty much I understood. But is that the May month is also be not receiving in that case?
No.
Do you have any guess?
No. So the folks that have invested earlier should see a return. So again, each investor that joins us, we need a certain amount of lead time to get you into the system, to get a new car, etc. And that's several weeks. So if you invested in May, you will definitely be seeing a return. If you invested in June, say the middle of June, then it's only been a few weeks, right?
Correct.
Right. Now in July, you should expect, and you will be getting a profit share in July.
Okay, just a question to that one. So the check you will be sending is up to the quarter 30th June, or
Correct.
It will be up to date? Okay.
No,
Up
yeah,
to
so
June.
we're,
Okay.
right, so the dividends are basically by quarter, by calendar year.
Okay.
So we're following the calendar year, so it'll be the last day of June, and then the next quarter starts. So your check will cover the last day, whatever that is, June 31st, 30th, 31st, whatever it is.
And the next check will probably go in October.
Right, you will start on the revenue cycle from July 1st, August, September, so end of September, and that check should come in the following month in October.
So I believe that the who put down in July, let's say mid-July, I think I was the last person, mid-July or first week of July, so I can expect it's going to be on October, right?
Correct.
From July, okay. Even though I did not put down in July 1st, but still it's going to count as July 1st to September 30th.
Yeah, so when did you invest? Was it in June or May?
I think it was July 7th.
Okay, July. So you should expect to start receiving revenue from July. Again, it takes a few weeks to get you started.
I see. So, okay. So July 1st to September 30th, that will be my...
That's your payout period for that quarter, yes, for Q3.
Yeah, it makes my decision smooth. Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is Lukman. Is this better?
That's a lot better.
No, it's
Okay.
okay.
Good. I can go?
Please, go ahead.
Can I ask? Okay, yeah. So the April actuals, which were showed in May when we were initially funding as the founding investors,
Yeah.
it was 16.92 is what was shown, or 16.82 for the gold contract. And this slide, which you're showing on the screen, is saying that the May actuals for the gold is 15.36 and the June is 22.14. Is that how I should read that slide?
Yes, yes.
Okay, but then when I look at the actuals, right, so from a revenue or the income perspective, April number was 8,719, right? That's what was shown in the spreadsheet. And then when you send us the May actuals in the video, right, where you took the entire screenshot of the Turo screen, the May actuals was 11,147. So it went up significantly, right, by $3,000 is how we saw it.
Right.
So then why would the percent go down for May? Wouldn't it go up? Because it was a 30% at least increase from April actuals.
Yeah, so good question. So one of the things to keep in mind is a lot of this is fairly dynamic. So what do I mean by that? Some of the revenue comes in later because the rental period crosses over the month. And unfortunately, some of the revenue that we're expecting is never realized. So, as an example, we have a vehicle that has been stolen. Now, we were expecting that revenue, we were counting that as daily revenue, etc. And that vehicle now has been reported to the police, it's been missing. We have a case with Turo. So, it could be that next month when we come back and look at May numbers and we've recovered the funds, it could change again. But when you look at these, you should look at them as general trends. I mean, we feel fairly accurate, but there's going to be some margin that's going to go up or down.
Got it. And the reason June numbers are so high is because?
So and this could be a seasonal thing, but the rental capacity has been very high. All the cars are out. As soon as we get these cars, they're gone. Like Austin, they're within a day or two. In Dallas, as soon as we list it. So this could be, again, seasonal because it's summer and people are vacationing, et cetera, et cetera. But June, July, August, we're going to be appreciating some good revenue.
Okay. My next question was on the...
Let me add one more thing to that, sorry. Plus, there are more number of cars. So if there's more cars on the road, then the revenue, of course, will go up accordingly.
Yes, right. Now, one of the other things you had mentioned that because we are the early founding members, I guess investors, the angel investors,
right.
you were gonna honor this deal, but then if new round of investors, it would get a lesser percent, or we would. How does that work?
So the founding members get preferential treatment. So we haven't decided our scope right now. Our focus is not on the second round. We don't know what that's going to look like. But for sure, the founding members have a lifetime of preferential treatment from us. Because, you guys gave us our legs, so to speak. You guys put faith in us. And again, we feel very blessed and we feel very humbled by that. So we are always going to hold you guys close to, close to us. So the second round may offer just a less percentage on the profit share, et cetera, et cetera. When we open up the real estate market, again, we're going to open it up to the founding members of Turo first before we do it to anybody else. So the specifics, we don't know yet, but, there is preferential treatment.
The specifics. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm representing the New Jersey group. At least I got these questions, and that's why I'm collecting and asking in one shot. The last question we got from the group was that if there was a 15K investor, because most of the 180K which came from New Jersey is around at the 15K level.
Right.
As far as the payment, most of us invested in the April, right, in the beginning, in the May.
Right.
So we are going to get something in end of July.
Yeah.
Looking at these three numbers, a 15K investor is expected to get what number by end of July?
So it's by individual, according to the date that they joined, and then there's a ramp-up time of a few weeks, so everybody's return is going to be different.
Right, so assuming that our checks cleared, the first week of May,
right.
Given the 2 weeks for onboarding time, so May 15th, let's say, right?
Sure.
Would be so based on that, how should I calculate?
So if you look at a high level, and again, we're going to send you an email with your specific numbers with, all the details that you can calculate, but as a general number here, if we're looking at a 16, 15, and 22% annualized, and you put in 15,000, then at the end of 12 months, you should expect back about 15 to 20% of that. So your monthly, so your 1 month or 1.5 months, it's going to be a couple of $100.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's all from me. Thanks.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you guys in New Jersey, man, you guys have been awesome. We need to get an operation over there, and with all of the contacts and the network that you guys have, I think we could do really good up there.
Yeah, happy to have. And I know we added you to our Just Money group, right? You're part of both
you
and Bilal are part of that group, right? Yeah. Okay, welcome to have you.
Thank you. Any other questions, guys? Let's take one or two more questions and then close it off.
Maybe as an off-topic on that, with related to investment, you mentioned that you're going to start some real estate one, and will be commencing soon. I don't know whether you can you just give heads up, or will the founding member will get some priority to that investment thing?
Yes, the founding members. Yes, the founding members will absolutely get a priority over everybody else, and that may be by the amount of return, or maybe you have first come first serve priority before anybody else on the list, etc. We're going to be determining that. But the answer is yes. All right.
Yeah.
Sure, go ahead.
Suppose I have invested in a silver plan, Turo, and then suppose next round of investment, I add another 10,000. Will I be qualified for the gold? Because my lump sum money will be 25,000.
Yeah. So we have talked about allowing people to convert up on their tier, but this is something I want to run by Zishan, our finance guy. Let me make sure I don't commit him just yet. So if you have any interest in doing that, just contact me, and we can talk to our finance guy and see what we can do. I'm hesitant to say yes, just in case it causes any complexity.
I understand.
Yeah.
Very fair answer. Yeah.
Yeah. But we're open, we want to be, like we said from the beginning, transparent and open to whatever we can do.
That should be completely fine.
Okay.
Thanks for the name.
Absolutely. My pleasure. Okay, one last question. Any other questions?
I think the check is coming via mail, right?
Yeah, we'll contact you in terms of specifics on how to transfer the money.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll try to do it in a way that's convenient for everybody. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much again for your time this morning. I did record this, and I will make this available via a unlisted YouTube link. Please don't share this with anybody. This is specifically only a private deal, not for the public. And again, if you have any follow-up questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Thank you for your investment, your faith, and we look forward to a great second half of the year, and enjoy the rest of your Friday. Take care. Assalamu alaikum.